Time to talk about a game I really enjoy, Dungeon Master. This is the Return to Chaos version, which is a version that someone took the old files from the Atari and made them so they can be played on the modern PC. And they have 3 games in the series. That's Dungeon Master, Chaos Strikes Back, and Dungeon Master 2. They also have Return to Chaos, which shows some different stuff that they put into the game. I played through and beat the original version just recently. This game is a dungeon crawler, and I believe it's one of the first. It came out on the Atari in 1987, and it's a pseudo 3D dungeon crawling adventure where you create a party of adventurers and you explore the dungeon. Now, the first thing you'll do when you enter the dungeon is enter the Hall of Champions, where you have different characters that you can choose to form your party. I used a barbarian called Hulk, a creature called Daru, a priest called Mophis, and a wizard called Gothmog. I believe there's 24 champions to choose from, and they all come with different equipment and different abilities and stuff, and they have different strengths and weaknesses. You can choose to either resurrect the fighter, which allows them to keep their levels and things, or you can reincarnate them, which wipes out all their stats but lets them level up faster. So, when you pick your party of adventurers, we'll just pick random 4 here, and enter the dungeon, you can start exploring and making your way to the bottom. I believe there are 15 levels in the dungeon. 13 or 14, not 15. But you enter the dungeon, and food and water matter. You have to keep your characters fed and their thirst quenched. Otherwise, they start to lose health, stamina, and other abilities. Light matters. You have to carry torches into the dungeon because if you go down to certain levels, it's dark. But if you put a torch in, you can see. So, there's that. There's also ways to fill up water through water skins and fountains in the wall or flasks that you empty from potions or that come empty and you can fill them with water at fountains. There's scrolls that'll teach you spells in the game or give you hints. Because this is an older style game, there's not a hand-holding waypoint or direction or journal to keep track of quests and stuff to tell you where to go. There are these revival altars in certain points in the dungeon. When your character dies, you can bring their bones to this altar. You bring them back. That's one of the only ways, at least the only way I know of, that you can bring a character back. Inventory management is a thing. All the armor and items and weapons. There's no fast way to do it. You have to do it all one at a time. But what you're carrying on you matters for your weight. And notice how you can take damage. That's where healing spells and healing potions would come into play. But as of right now, I don't have any. Now, there is doors in the dungeon. You can open them, or you can blast through them or hack through them, depending on if they're reinforced or not. Different items to find throughout the game in terms of better armor, better weapons, better spells. And eventually you can become like a powerhouse of characters that can face the final challenge, which is chaos. Now, you're not alone in the dungeon. There are enemies. There are enemies ranging from mummies to plant things called screamers, rock piles, trollkins, which are like ogres, and then there's living armor, dragons, etc. There's a variety of stuff in this game. Your positioning matters. My person up here was off to the right. Now she should actually be here. This guy, Lynn Flass, has a bow but no arrows, so you can actually... Oh, my person with the torch died. This mummy's gonna kill me. But you can fight with your back row characters after that, or they can cast spells, like Light, which doesn't really do much. It's letting me see little bits at a time. Swing your torch, kill the mummy. Then you can bring your bones back to that altar. That's roughly how the game starts. And as you progress through the game, there's different puzzles, different things that require your thinking and critical thinking to solve and get through. But you reach the bottom of the dungeon, and even the last boss is not something you can just brute strength your way through. It could be possible, but I don't know. There's a fire staff that requires a power gem to create the fire staff, to create a prison, to be able to fight the last bad guy. I'll give you a quick review, or not a review, a clip video of my game, it took me about 13 and a half hours to beat this game. So it's not overly long, but it is worth the time playing it. There's hidden items like invisible walls that you can walk through, hidden buttons on the wall to unlock secret passages to better treasure. And as you get deeper, the enemies get harder, the puzzles get harder, and overall the experience just becomes more satisfying when you figure it out. So let's abandon this team real quick and take a look at a different one. This is the team I actually used to win with. I have Hulk, Daru, Mophis, and Gothmog. These are the names of the characters as they were. I did not name Hulk instead of Hulk, who I really enjoy the character Hulk. Daru is worse than throwing bread at your enemies. That guy is so terrible. He dies so often. But eventually, when you learn your spells and stuff enough, you can start making potions and creating healing potions that help your characters that way and stuff like that. But those are not necessarily an automatic win, because as you get deeper, there's different types of enemies. Skeletons, or those eyes. Let's see, you can switch up your position, and of course, get him. Okay. There's stronger enemies and stuff, and they will swarm you and kill you. I'm gonna die. Anyway, that was the team that I won with. Not a bad little ragtag group of guys, but not enough to withstand 2 lightning bolts in a row. Eventually you get to the end and solve the puzzle and win the game. You don't have to escape the dungeon or anything, you just gotta end. But this work was put together by these people here to revive the original 1987 version to the 1992 versions of the game. I think it is a fantastic little experience. It's a little nostalgic for me, so maybe I enjoy it more than a modern gamer would. But I really wish that they would release these games again on like PlayStation or something so I could earn trophies for them, or Steam for achievements. If not, I'm happy playing it this way and getting through it that way. Neat little game and a short little review. Check it out if you're interested. Now for a bestiary of the game. We'll just go through in no real particular order. We've got the Mummy, the Screamer, the Rock Pile in its attacking position, otherwise it is that, the Trollin, the Magenta Worm, the Giant Wasp, the Ghost, the Swamp Slime, the Coatl, the Wizard Eye, Skeleton, Animated Armor, Black Flame, Demon, Giant Scorpion, the Giggler, the Materializers, the Oitu, the Pain Rat, the Red Dragon, Ruster, the Stone Golem, a Vexerk, Water Elemental. Then we have, finally, Lord Chaos, who, when hit by one of the items in the game, can become Lord Order for a moment before they eventually merge and become the Grey Lord. That's the bestiary for the 1986 game Dungeon Master. Of all things that have stuck with me over the years from this game, the mummy sound and these things is what I remember most. There are these doors at work. Every time I open them, I'm reminded of those screamer plants from Dungeon Master. So I'll show you. Right here. This cracks me up every time.